Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Right off the bat on the old show today. This whole Jaguar concept thing continues to gain traction on the interwebs as it continues to rumors float all over the place about this car's actual existence. Now, when this thing was first teased and then first shown off at an official auto show, it was actually just to show off the brand new aluminum architecture that will be going into the brand new Jaguar XE. Now this vehicle will be coming out very, very soon. It's going to be a mid-sized platform, but apparently that platform can also run this particular automobile, which is their SUV slash crossover maybe, which this thing looked at a little bit weird because obviously Jaguar and Land Rover all hooked up underneath the Tata umbrella, and Land Rover builds exclusively SUVs, Jaguar builds exclusively sedans and coupes. So this was always looked on as a tad bit weird, but still hearing rumors that this vehicle will be out in dealer showrooms by as early as 2016, so we'll keep you in tune on what comes of this in the future. Next up on the list, well, Tesla's actually been running into a tad bit of a roadblock in the U.S. market as they're actually selling automobiles outside of dealer franchises. Now, there is laws, and they are state by state, by the way, so each state has their own franchise laws when it comes to dealers. And apparently Tesla's been selling these in small kiosks and, well, little shops inside of strip malls and things like this. Selling these automobiles, you can come in, look up your options online, and they'll deliver the automobile right to you. Not the normal dealer network. Well, I thought that there was going to be a deal where they were going to have to come up with their own dealerships to actually sell these automobiles, but apparently this is working well into their favor, as New York State has already said it's okay. The dealer network's saying that it's okay for them to sell the automobiles as they are, and also the state of Ohio has also come in and done the exact same thing. So at least 2 states in, they can sell this car exactly the way they have been going forward. Not to mention, remember that whole deal with the fires? Well, apparently Tesla's put the kibosh on those, actually by putting a small titanium plate over the entire battery casing. This will keep any foreign objects from piercing the batteries and causing those fires like we had seen in the past. Supposedly Tesla's done some full testing on this, and it got full thumbs up from the Tesla folks. Next up on the list, this is a weird automobile. This is a car that normally I don't talk about these kind of cars because every couple of months there's some sort of special supercar that's coming out of Lord knows where, and you know, they're just a bunch of nonsense and you never actually get to see them come up and about. But this had some interesting features that I think you need to hear about. This is the brand new Trion Nemesis, supposedly going to be coming out as early as 2015. This vehicle has a twin turbocharged V8 putting out, yeah, you guessed it, 2,000 brake horsepower. It's going to be hooked up through an 8-speed sequential gearbox, talking about 0 to 60 numbers coming in at 2.8 seconds, with a top speed of course, 270 miles an hour, because who doesn't need to go that kind of speed? Now let's get to the interesting parts of this. The actual luggage compartments in this vehicle supposedly could carry real luggage. In fact, the folks over at Trion actually say that they can full sets of golf clubs. Now, they didn't say how many sets, but full set of golf clubs is pretty doggone big. Not bad for a supercar, if you ask me. And then comes the real interesting thing. The actual driver's compartment, which is usually small and sparse at best. This vehicle is actually been designed around folks of around 6.5 feet tall. In fact, there's a special edition where you can be 7 foot plus and still be able to fit in this automobile. Very interesting situation. Apparently, these folks are actually going right after NBA basketball stars who like to play around a golf or two. Next up on the list, sorry about that picture. Yes, it's David Hasselhoff back in his prime, if there was such a thing. Remember back the Knight Rider series? Way back in the day. I was a young boy back then. And of course behind him, the Knight Industries 2000. This particular vehicle is actually live and well. This is the actual vehicle that David Hasselhoff himself actually owns. It was actually given to him as a present by a lady by the name of Jennifer Catino, who actually built this car from scratch. Did an amazing job. You get to see some more pictures of this on the interweb. The dash webs are glorious. I mean, they really did and really went the extra mile to make this car look exactly like it did in the TV series. Well, this particular automobile, if you'd like to have it for your very own, is coming up for auction. In fact, it's on the auction block right now on the old interwebs themselves, and I'll put a link down in the show notes if you want to check it out. The vehicle is starting out somewhere around $15,000. They're only expecting this thing to go between somewhere around 30 to 50 grand. No hookup to any charities, as I thought because it was owned by a celebrity that it might have that particular situation going on. But nothing ever said about that, at least in the auction. But there is an interesting little caveat, especially if you live maybe here in the United States. The vehicle's actually in a museum in Ireland. And if you buy the automobile, it's fully your responsibility to get it to wherever you want it to be. So unless you live around Ireland, it seems like it's going to be pretty expensive to get that sucker back to where you want it to be. But an interesting piece of kit. Like I said, if you want to go take a peek at the auction, see how it ends, we'll probably keep an eye on it as well, just to see how much it goes for. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this week's Motor Cars Enthusiast. If you want to jump on over to the Facebook page, the link's down in the show notes. You can like us over there. We'd appreciate that. Also, you can subscribe to the channel at any time. Get the first dibs on the brand new shows as soon as they come out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again real soon.